Hi, this is Eric Martin with BoardGameGeek. I'm here with Scott Gaeta from Renegade Game Studios. We're going to be looking at J. Alex Kevern's World's Fair 1893.
Correct.
Yes, with not quite final components with the cards, but we can still learn how to play the game.
Yep. Yeah. Most of these are pretty close. The cards are definitely not final, but everything else is was a proof from the factory. So we're getting there. So in World's Fair, you take on the role of one of the people like running the fair, and you're competing against all the other players for the most points at the end of the game by doing a good job exhibiting and kind of manipulating the different attractions and exhibits and things like that. And sometimes you'll get some help from historical figures that contributed to the fair, so they can do things for you. So during the game, the way it sets up is we have the Ferris wheel in the center. This was the first time that a Ferris wheel was ever premiered, and these were huge. Like, I think one car held like 60 people. They had like over 2,000 people on a Ferris wheel at a time. It was it was massive.
That's quite different.
Yeah, way different than what we're used to. So the Ferris wheel piece scales. So right now we have it on the 3 to 4 player side, and even the top part scales as well based on 2 to 3 players, or a 2-player game. This flips over and it changes a little bit. We have our little car, which is our tracker for the rounds. You play the game over 3 rounds, and when a round is over, you have a scoring phase, and you score, and people get points, and then you play another round again. So during the game, for example, if I was to take one of my cubes, and these areas going around the Ferris wheel represent different areas of the fair. So we have, electricity and manufacturing and fine arts and transportation and agriculture. So if I decide that I want to go over here, transportation, I put a cube there, I collect these cards. So some of the cards are things like a midway attraction. When I collect one of those, I move the Ferris wheel, starts going around. The clock tower is one of the attractions at the fair. That's worth points to me later when I score. Then we would refill this by putting a card there, and then on either side of that area. And then everybody else would play and continue to collect cards and resources. Historical figures, these guys on the final version will actually have game text, and they do things. They allow you to manipulate the board, move your opponent's cubes around, and do other things to your advantage, and usually to your opponent's disadvantage. Once the car has gone all the way around, and at the end of my turn, if it moved to the end, we have a scoring round. And that's where we take our exhibit cards and everything else that we've collected, and we score points. And we get points for controlling certain areas of the board. If you have the most of certain types of cards, you get a bonus, and then people that have cards after that get additional points. Controlling, having representation in all the different areas also get you more points. It's better to have a nice spread than focus on one particular area potentially. Then you take all the cubes, and for example, for every pair of cubes that you have somewhere, one comes back to you, and the rest will stay there. Okay. So if you have 3, 1, you wind up with 2 there. If you have 4, 2 will come off, and so on. You play 3 rounds, and then at the end of the rounds, whoever has the most points wins. All right. And that's the basic version. Yeah. Oh.
There's more rules?
There's just a lot of different. There's a lot of different tracks you can take as far as scoring. Yeah, there's medals for that you earn more points. Basically, if you have the most of something, as opposed to people that just get points for having a little bit of ad hoc coverage and things like that. So.
Okay. All right. Tokens here.
The tokens there are related to controlling certain areas of the lands going around and things like that.
Track everything.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
All right. Thanks for the overview.
You're welcome.